guy right now. No, he's some attorney. I mean, Michael Jordan.
All right, good morning, everyone. Are we ready to get started? This is the State All-Purpose Calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams, and at this calendar today, we will address cases that have previously been reset from the state SEA calendar. Arraigned cases take pleas as necessary. All defendants, please be advised you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. And this is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream and recorded. Are we ready to get started? Who is anybody at courtroom? Oh, somebody at ACDC?
Yes, we're ready in courtroom 2.
Okay. Miss Kim, we can't hear you. Whatever you're saying,
Okay, we are here at ACDC, totally ready.
Okay. Where are we going first? Either one.
We can start with position number 4 and 5, Mr. Carr.
Okay, I have that this is a negotiated plea.
Carr.
Come on.
Who represents Mr. Carr? Is it you, Mr. Haddad? Good morning.
It is, Judge, and I apologize. I left my jacket in my car.
That's all right. It happens to the best of us. All right. So this is a negotiated plea, Mr. Carr. 24. You're here for 2 cases with the identical charges. 24 CR 0059993J and 24 CR 006168J. In both cases, you're charged with theft by shoplifting and criminal trespass. Ms. Sessiano, I did have the chance to read this warrant already. So if you just want to put your recommendation onto the record, that would be fine with me.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. For position 4, the state's recommending 12 months served 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. That's from August 25th to August 26th, 2024, and then August 30th, 2024 to today. Balance probated. Stay away from the Macy's located at 3393 Peachtree Road. An anti-theft course, 40 hours of community service, and a $500 fine. For count 2, time served. For position 5, the recommendation is 12 months served 30 days, credit for time served 14 days. That's from August 30th, 2024 to today. Balance probated. Stay away from the Target at 3535 Peachtree Road. Anti-theft course, 40 hours of community service, and a $500 fine. For count 2, it's time served. And position 5 will run concurrent with 24 CR 5993J. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. Thank you.
So he would have to serve an additional day. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, because it's his third offense, the statute requires that he serve a minimum of 30 days. So that is correct. He'd have to serve 1 more day.
All right, Mr. Haddad, was that your understanding? You still stipulate?
Judge, we stipulate, and the way I read the global resolution, I apologize. I would ask to waive. My thought was one $500 fine and 1 40 hours of your service. I just realized when Ms. Luciano was reading the recommendation that there are 2 different $500 fines and 2 different 40 hours of your service. So I'd ask if the court would be willing to suspend the second one, Judge.
Your Honor, the state's intention was that they run concurrent, so 1 $500 fine would satisfy both, and 1 40-hour community service would satisfy both cases.
Okay. Does that clear it up, Mr. Haddad?
Judge, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
All right. So, Mr. Carr, you wish to go forward with the plea? Please raise your right hand if you do. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
You understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes.
And you understand that taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or other open cases, anything of that nature?
Thank you.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes.
And do you fully understand the requirements of what you're supposed to do?
Yes.
All right, as to the charge, Mr. Carr, of theft by shoplifting, criminal trespass on each of these cases, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea at this time. Is there anything additional?
No.
No, Judge, thank you.
All
No, Your
right,
Honor.
that's you, Mr. Carr.
Judge Williams,
Yes.
so do you want me to write fine suspended on the second charge? I'm sorry.
Well, technically, it's the same one, so it would be,
So, as fines go, if you put a fine on the case, they're not gonna run concurrent.
they'll make him
Probation
do
is
it
gonna-
both.
Yeah, the probation and the treasury office is gonna expect a fine on both cases.
Okay, so you can suspend it on the second one, so it doesn't do that.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Gordon.
Your Honor, we could go to ACDC, so Mr. Haddad can speak with one of the clients in quorum too.
That's fine. Who do we have at ACDC?
Good morning, Judge Williams. This is going to be position number 38, Ms. Tyler.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good
All
morning.
right, Ms. Tyler, I have this is a not guilty plea. Is that correct? Are we holding a bond hearing?
Actually, Your Honor, I believe this is a guilty plea. We just want to double check that this also includes another case, 24 PI 005851, that was downgraded to misdemeanor. So I just want to make sure we are handling both of them together.
Is that
Even-
the case, Ms. Desiano? Do we know?
Your Honor, that's Deputy Fox case. I believe
Oh.
Deputy Rhodes is on for her. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Ms. Rhodes. Is that correct?
Good morning, Judge. I'm looking to see now. I just logged on for Deputy Falk to take over, so I'm looking.
Help us out, so we're not sitting too long. Thank you.
So it appears that the recommendation is inclusive of position number 38, which is 24 CR 006-285E. Her notes don't indicate that, but I don't mind if I've given a moment to look at that case that was
Okay.
mentioned by counsel to see if we can do a global offer, because that does make sense.
Okay, that's fine. If you want to take a moment, look, can we go to someone else, Ms. Kim, while we give Mr. Rhodes a moment to look at it?
And
Yes, Your Honor.
Kim, can you give me that number one more time? I'm sorry.
Yes, it was 24 PI 005851, and that was downgraded to misdemeanor from felony a few days ago.
All right, I'll take a look
She's
at that.
been, of course, September 4th.
So,
Okay.
Judge, we don't even have an accusation for that case, so we can't take a plea on it.
No, if it's not yet been downgraded and filed, then that's true. So it can't be, well, we have to reset this. Was it a time served offer?
The offer was 12 months probation, Your Honor, I believe.
Okay,
And there was 64 days. I believe the credit was for 32 days. So
what she would have gotten out today.
absolutely. So I mean, if I don't know, Mr.
Can
Jordan,
we
if we were
accuse
to
quickly?
file it down and if we were to file it down, would it be cumbersome by end of calendar to get that done?
They won't if you file it down today.
Oh, all righty, I'll take a look at it.
Your Honor, I'm positions 1 through 21. If we can take some of my cases and give Deputy Rhodes some time.
Okay, can we do any of those?
Your Honor, no. Who is not very well.
Can we do one as Ms. McLeod? Ms. McLeod, I see you on the line. Who do you have? Maybe position 2 is Quintavious Benton here somewhere? That's Ms. McLeod.
He's gonna appear on jail court's iPhone.
Oh, unfortunately, that didn't work out.
Morning, darling.
Morning.
Hey, excuse me, Judge Williams. Hey,
Yeah.
good morning.
Morning.
For Cloud's case, I do have position 36 Simmons, but I was told Ms. McLeod have not spoken to her.
We want to give the jail a call, Ms. McLeod?
Because they call me, Your Honor, because they
It's
have
gonna
new
be
numbers.
Gibson, position 18.
Okay, can someone give Ms. McLeod a call so she can do her interview?
Ms. McLeod, what's your number? The internet is going in and out.
404 457-2195. Would you like me to put it in the chat?
That would be helpful, I think, Ms. McLeod.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
ACDC keeps freezing. Is there an internet problem? Or is it me? Maybe it's me. It's like keeps freezing.
I don't know. Yeah.
Judge, we have a plea ready, position number 9.
Okay, we can do that.
That fits everybody, Ms. Desiano. I think that's gonna be yours.
Okay, let's do that one. And
Yes, and Mr. Haddad, I'm having Outlook issues this morning. I know you just sent me an email. It hasn't come through yet, but as soon as it does, I'll review it.
All right, thank you.
and hopefully Ms. McLeod can still, ACDC can still call Ms. McLeod. All right, let's do 24 CR 006100E. Mr. Collier, in this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes.
And this is a negotiated plea?
It is, Judge.
All right, and I have read the warrant on this as well. So Ms. Desiano, if you'll just put your recommendation onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor, state's recommending 12 months, served 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. That's from August 28th, 2024 to today. Balance suspended and a stay away from Grady unless seeking medical treatment. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Judge.
All right, Mr. Collier, raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
Morning.
Oh, no. Please mute, Ms. McLeod. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And you understand taking the plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes.
And you further understand that you're giving up the right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Haddad's representation?
Yes.
And you understand that you can't go back to Grady unless you're seeking medical treatment, but otherwise the time you've served in Fulton County Jail should close your case, okay?
Yes.
As to the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional?
No, Judge.
Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Collier. That concludes your case.
We can go to position number 10 and 11, Mr. Darnell Cox.
I see, have we had a chance to interview him? I saw that on the note, never interviewed, never broke.
I did, Judge.
Okay, good. And the announcement is now?
Your Honor, I believe my client wants a negotiated plea. However, Ms. Desiano, the recommendation is FVIP. And I know there's some restrictions by law, but my client wanted to ask if the state would consider a little bit less anger management classes than the 24 weeks.
Your Honor, my response to that would be the statute requires FFIB, so no.
Okay. Judge, we are ready for a negotiated plea.
Guilty, he wants to take the plea. All right. Sir, you have two cases. One is an FTA. These other cases, 22 CR 00119. I'm sorry, 100. Why can't I talk? 22 CR 000119F. There we go. In that case, you are charged with simple battery. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Desiano, please proceed.
Your Honor, this incident took place January 8th, 2022. Officers were dispatched to a fight call at 1048 Washington Street. The victim in this case is Lalisha Harris. She's the defendant's child's mother. She states that they were at her apartment drinking, having a good time when the defendant got belligerent and punched her in the face 3 times. The state's recommending 12 months, served 20 days, credit for time served 10 days. That's from September 3rd, 2024 to today. Balance probated. No further contact with Lalisha Harris. Stay away from 1048 Washington Street. FFIB, no firearms, and a third-party transfer. And the state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea.
We so stipulate, Judge.
All right, and I'm sounding for Ms. Harris. Make sure she's not here, wants to make a statement. Okay, seeing none. Please raise your right hand if you'd like to take the plea today. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Are you under the influence of any drug? You can put your hand down. Thank you. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today? Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Uh-huh.
And you understand that you're giving up your right to trial by judge or trial by jury?
Yes.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life?
Yes.
And you understand the requirements, you're gonna have to complete the FVIP course, stay away from the address on Washington Street, have no contact with Ms. Harris, and coordinate transfer of a child through a third party, but otherwise you should not have additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail. Do you understand that? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. As to the charge of simple battery, Mr. Cox, how do you plead?
No.
Was that agreed upon that he was gonna plead no,
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Haddad?
No, Judge, that was not part of, my discussion with the state or my clients.
Okay, so sir,
Just one second, Judge.
okay.
All right, my client's request is for no contest, nolo plea, Judge. I know the state always opposes, and I understand their position to family bonds. Also explained to my client that it's within the court's discretion, assuming he has not used it in the last 5 years. I'll just lay it out that way, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Tyson, can I have his history, please? He's position 10, Darnell Cox.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning. He has 29 arrest cycles beginning in 2005. His last arrest was in Fulton County, September 3rd, 2024, and that was for a violation of probation. He had an arrest from March 20th, 2023, marijuana possession less than 1 ounce and possession of cocaine. There's no disposition listed on the GCIC for that case. Let's see. There's a misdemeanor conviction for DUI out of DeKalb County from February of 2020. We have another misdemeanor conviction out of DeKalb County for theft by shoplifting, and that's from May of 2019. And it looks like he does have more than 3 failures to appears within the last 10 years. He does have another misdemeanor conviction out of DeKalb County for knowingly driving motor vehicle. Let's see, on suspended or canceled revoked registration. And it looks like that's the last time he used his NOLO. That was in 2018, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, let's see. Math. Check. Okay, I'll allow him to plead NOLO. I accept your NOLO plea at this time, all right?
Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Cox.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, that's all we have for Mrs. Josiano's case.
That's fine. Mr. Rhodes is back. Were we able to file down that other case?
Your Honor, it looks like it was already filed down. I just sent an email to Mr. Jordan as well as Ms. Kim. I believe it was filed down as 24 CR 006-285E. I just want to confirm, but I do believe it was already filed down.
Okay, and once we confirm, Mr. Rhodes, do you have a global offer? Would it be the same offer or would the offer change slightly?
It will be slightly different. I did email it to Ms. Kim because this case does include a DUI. So it's essentially the same offer, however, with the DUI conditions, Ms. Kim.
No problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if we're ready, Mr. Jordan, did you see it? And can we take that, please?
I recall about smoke.
I'm gonna say something to Morris. Judge, were you ready for the next case?
I am.
Okay, we can do number 12, Ms. Creasy.
All right, I have that as a negotiated plea. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is that who you have next to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. Ms. Creasy, your case is 24 CR 006149F. You're charged with theft of service. You understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Then I have that this is a negotiated plea. Ms. Viciano, will you please proceed?
Your Honor, this incident took place August 29th, 2024 at the Fine Nail located at 2068 Campbellton Road. Upon arrival, police made contact with the manager, Mr. Tran Son, who reported that the defendant came into the business and got her nails done. And then when they inquired about her method of payment, she stated that she was going to pay via Cash App, but then couldn't find her phone. The defendant then proceeded to get up, gather her belongings, and walk toward the exit without paying for her nails. The manager attempted to stop the defendant, at which point she instructed him not to touch her and threatened to punch him if he did touch her. And that's when that's when they called the police. The state's recommending 12 months, serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. That's from August 29th, 2024 to today, balance probated. Anti-theft course, no further contact with Mr. Tran Son, a stay away from the Fine Nails at 2068 Campbellton Road, a $45 restitution to Fine Nail, and 40 hours of community service. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. Thank you.
Do you so stipulate, Ms. Campbell? Was that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to ask for maybe we can waive 3 months of probation fees because she has to pay for restitution and she has to find a job to start again.
I'll waive 2 months and then she can
Okay.
go non-reporting, but the fine is not that long. She can get that community service knocked out, okay?
Sure.
All right, Ms. Creasy, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea today?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No.
And you understand by taking a plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you understand the requirements, you have to pay $45 in restitution. Stay away from that nail shop, have no contact with its owner, Mr. Tran Son, and do 40 hours of community service. But other than that, the time you serve should close your case. Do you understand?
Do I have to pay the $45 to the
Probation.
Ask Ms. Kim. Ask Ms. Kim. She'll explain to you. But you do understand the requirements. She'll explain to you how to do it. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. As to the charge of theft of service, Ms. Creasy, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea at this time. Is there anything additional? I've already waived 2 months of fees. And I said, once she's done the community service and paid the restitution, she can go non-reporting. All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Creasy. Who do we have next?
We can go to position number 30, Mr. Vincent Poole. And he wants to go
I want to be my own attorney.
pro se.
He wants to do what?
Be my own attorney.
Pro se.
Oh,
Your
he's-
Honor, he was the one I was appointed to
Myself,
the pod at the jail, and he refused to come out to talk with me, so I had no chance to discuss with him.
Okay, sir, Mr. Poole, I strongly advise you to accept
Nah, I
this.
want to be my own attorney.
You want your own attorney?
I want to be my own attorney.
I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry. It may
I
be.
want to be my own attorney.
Your Honor, he's saying he wants to be his own
I want to speak for
attorney.
myself. My First Amendment right is to speak for myself. I don't need a mouthpiece. I understand you're in collusion here against one man, but I got a right to speak my own mind. I don't need an attorney to speak.
I understand that, but I have.
I have a right to be my own attorney.
That's fine.
That's
But
my First Amendment right.
let's be clear about something, okay?
What?
We're gonna
I'm not incompetent.
we're gonna speak to each other with respect, Mr. Poole, okay? Let's be clear about that. All right? And you're gonna have to calm down and speak to me.
I'm calm. I'm calm.
Okay.
Y'all might just, I'm saying, I'm calm.
Okay. The original announcement was that this was
I'm sorry.
a negotiated plea. Mr. Poole, are you wishing to take a plea today?
Sure.
You're
Not guilty.
saying
Not guilty.
you want a not guilty plea. You would like to go to
Right.
trial.
Right now. I have
Okay,
the right to a speedy trial.
okay. So we're gonna reset his case, jail
No,
jury.
I got a right to speedy trial, man.
Well,
right.
it will not be a trial today. This is not.
Why
the
can't
trial.
be a speedy trial? This hearing of trial. You
Oh.
do that trial, saying this a hearing of trial.
He has a bond, correct, Mr. Jordan? What's his
I mean,
correct?
it's next trial, right?
Yes, Your Honor, he has a bond.
I know he does. I'm sorry. What is
I
the
mean, I
amount?
want to get trial too. You the
It's
best,
a
right?
$2,000.
Why can't be today?
And
yeah,
it was, did I set this
Oh,
bond, Mr.
I
Jordan?
got
Are you able to see? Please mute him for 1 second. I'll let you speak in a second, Mr. Poole. Did I set his bond? Do we know?
It was set by Judge Mancy, and he has a $2,000 good bond, 1,000 per charge.
Per count? Okay, I thought I recognized him. I thought I did this one. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Okay, Mr. Poole, we can unmute him now. I just needed to hear what the bond was. Mr. Poole, there will not be a trial today. You are declining the services of the public defender's office, so I'm gonna arrange.
I want to time.
All right, so I'm gonna arrange your case and we're gonna set your case for trial, okay?
What can
All
you
right.
do now?
Because this
gonna
is
make
not
it
a
start
trial
next week.
calendar and it will not happen today.
I hope y'all swear. Ain't it?
Wait, let me arrange his case.
Oh, y'all swear.
Okay, what we're gonna do is, is he coming back? I'd like to do it.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying.
I'd like to arrange his case, but I guess I can't. Okay, Ms. Kim, I see the challenge here. If you could try to speak to him again, at least so that we could waive arraignment.
Sure.
And if there was a plea offer that he could potentially take, that would be, he wasn't gonna get out today, was he?
He
Yes,
was. Yes. Time served.
I believe it was,
Mr. Poole? Yeah, it was
sir?
time served. Mr. Poole, we're taking a long time on this. Do you want to take this plea today or you want to have a trial? Which one? Tell me quickly. Can we unmute him? Do you want to take the plea today or do you want to go to trial?
I'm guilty.
Okay,
I'm
so
pleading.
let's arrange your case quickly so that we can say that we did it, all right? Mr. Poole,
If I say it's a rain.
all right, I'm arraigning it. Your case, Mr. Poole, is
You got-
6115F. In this case, you're charged with theft by shoplifting, which has been formally accused by the Solicitor General's office, as well as criminal trespass. At this time, I'm going to reset your case for a trial. At that trial, you will have a right to an attorney, just as you've had today, but decline, and the state will bear the burden to prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If they do meet their burden, you can face a fine of up to $1,000 for each charge, or up to 1 year in the Fulton County Jail. Based upon this information, do you wish to still plead not guilty at this time?
Tell that by the court.
Do you wish to still plead not guilty?
I'm guilty.
All right, I accept
Birthday,
your not guilty plea. We've arraigned his case. His case will be reset for trial. All right? All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Poole.
Next judge,
All right, who do we have next?
next judge, we have position number 7 and 8, Ms. Cody.
All right, the announcement I have is non-negotiated plea. So
Yes, Your Honor, we just want to have
you want to have what?
no further violent contact, Your Honor, with his her father.
Okay, let me hear the history. Ms. Tyson, can I have the history for position 7 and position 8? Ms. Cody, 8 is just the FTA.
Yes, Your Honor. She just has a total of 3 arrest cycles beginning in 2022. She has let's see. Her previous arrest was in DeKalb County, June 30th of 3, and that was for a criminal trespass. No dispositions listed for the GCI on the GCIC for that case. And then this arrest, Your Honor. Nothing to add.
Thank you, Ms. Tyson. Ms. Desiano, proceed in the
Your
motion.
Honor, this incident happened June 9th, 2022, approximately 3 in the morning. Officers were dispatched to 474 English Avenue. The victim in this case is the defendant's father, Sean Cody. The defendant went outside to smoke. Her baby was sleeping and woke up. Dad went to attend to the baby because no one could find the defendant. The defendant came inside and an argument ensued, and she pushed her father to the ground. The defendant's siblings were also witnesses and a part of this altercation as well. Your Honor, the state's recommending 12 months, serve 18 days, credit for time served 9 days, balance probated, no further contact with Mr. Cody, and a stay away from 474 English Avenue, FFib, and no firearms. The basis for the state's recommendation for no contact, Your Honor, is that we've just not been in touch with him since this case began. We have, however, been in touch with one of the witnesses, Mr. Shannon Cody, who told us that Dad wants nothing to do with, we're not sure, either this case or the defendant. That's the only information that we have. And that's the basis for it. Also, on her bond order, she's been ordered to have no contact with him since 2022 and a stay away. So we will leave contact in the court's discretion.
All right, if she takes the plea today, I'll do no further violent contact. Does she wish to take the plea, Ms. Kim?
Yes, she does.
All right, please raise your right hand, Ms. Cody. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything for taking the plea?
No.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you fully understand the requirements of the sentence?
Yes.
All right, as to the charge of simple battery, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Kim?
Other than no further violent contact, we have no other addition, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Desiano, anything additional?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Cody. That concludes your case.
So, Judge Wade,
Yes,
do you want the stay away on there? Since you're doing no further contact, you want to take the stay
the
away?
stay away can be deleted as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan.
Next, we can go to position 42 and 43, Mr. Willis.
Okay, I have that this is a waiver of arraignment. Is that still the case? Mr. Haddad, what's the announcement?
Your Honor,
That's Kim's time.
that's Ms.
Oh.
Kim.
Ms. Kim, I'm sorry. Ms. Kim, what's your announcement for Mr. Willis?
Mr. Willis, Your Honor, give me 1 second, Your Honor.
I have not guilty.
Is it Marco Willis, 42?
Yes.
He actually pleads guilty, Your Honor, negotiated plea.
Oh, it's
Yes.
changed. Okay. You wish to take a plea today, sir?
I actually made bond on the charge. I was gonna hopefully get out today and I can be an attorney.
Okay, so he doesn't sound like he wants to take a plea, Ms. Kim. How, did he make bond?
Willis, this is not the other case that you have. The felony case, that's not it. This is a misdemeanor case. You already paid for bond for your felony charges. So if you plead guilty, you can get out of the jail. It will not be holding you.
I plead guilty because I have a great job to get to, so.
Okay, wait a minute. Don't say too much. Let me give you your rights. Sir, in
Okay.
this case, your case is 22 CR 000603E. In this case, you're charged with battery family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the offer as it stands, I think, did I read this? I didn't read this warrant. Mr. Rhodes, if you would very briefly give me the facts of what happened and your recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. As it relates to the recommendation, I'm pulling up the facts now, Your Honor.
Oh, wait, Mr. Jordan is telling us that he has no bond and a felony probation hold. So he's not gonna get out of the jail. Is that, does that change nature of this today?
Yes, correct, Your Honor. The way he understood was the felony charge, the bond was already paid and took care of. I guess that was misinformation.
Okay,
So
so does he wish to go forward? Because the original announcement was not guilty. He's not getting out today. Do you wish
Okay.
to still, do you want to talk to him very quickly? To see if he
Yes.
wants to still? Can Ms. Kim call courtroom too? Is there a number or something?
2060-2060.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan.
We
All right.
can.
Can we do one of Mr. Haddad's cases while Ms. Kim is on the phone?
Your Honor, I think the couple of places that I
We
have.
could also do my clients.
Or Ms. McLeod either.
2392.
It's Miss Simmons.
Which position is that, Ms. McLeod? Is that 18?
It's Miss Simmons. Let me look and see what number she is. Just a moment.
I think that might be the case that goes with position 18. Those were felony transfers.
This is position
That's
number
what I'm
18,
saying.
Ms. Simmons.
Absolutely.
Position number what? I'm sorry.
Position number 36, Your Honor.
I don't know, I'm sorry. Can anybody hear me?
We can, you're going in and
No,
out.
this is position number 18, Ms. Gibson.
Miss
Oh.
Gibson. Did you
I'm
speak to her,
sorry,
Ms.
Simmons. I'm so
Okay.
confused.
18 is
Number
Gibson,
36
and
is-
she's been transferred to felony, Your Honor.
Okay, so
I don't believe the order's been signed yet, but the DA has accepted it.
wait
and
one
it's-
second. I thought we were on 36 Simmons. Which one is it? Is it Gibson or Simmons?
They
I'm
go
sorry.
together, Your Honor. Position
go
18 and
together?
position 36 are co-defendants in a case. They've both been transferred to Superior Court.
Oh, they're together.
Yes.
Has the order been signed?
I believe the DA has accepted it, Your Honor. As of yesterday afternoon, it hadn't been signed yet, but I expect it will be signed today.
Okay, so apparently, ma'am, your cases have been upgraded to felony and transferred over beyond the jurisdiction of this court. So you'll have some additional proceedings in the future. Okay?
Your Honor, there's no signed order. My client has been sitting in jail for over 2 weeks. She has absolutely no criminal history. 4 people, I believe 3 people were arrested here in this case.
I remember this case. I was the one who set the initial bond. What was the initial, what's her current bond?
$10,000, Your Honor. I'm asking for a signature bond for my client so she can get out of jail to go home and take care of her 3-year-old daughter. I think this is unconscionable. She has no criminal history. Nothing has been proved against her. This is all allegations. She's not the only defendant. There are 2 other defendants. She cannot drive. They're suggesting things against her that I believe that once it goes to trial, they will see that she's not guilty. But then she has to sit in jail because she cannot post this bond. So I'm asking the court to consider a signature bond for my client.
I won't be converting it to a signature bond at this time.
Would the court at least consider lowering it to a more realistic amount?
Your Honor, there's
I
already
remember
felony
this case.
charges pending and there's no bond on
Right,
those
I
cases.
remember this, right, I remember this case. I'm not gonna modify the bond at this time, Ms. McLeod, but I do appreciate your advocacy. And I do wish the best to Ms. Simmons. All right, so that concludes Ms. Simmons' case at this time. Can we take another case that belongs to Ms. McLeod?
Also, Judge, so
I don't think I have anyone else on this calendar, Your Honor. I do have.
There was somebody else that said conflict. They're not yours.
Position 2, Mr. Quintavious Benton. Is my understanding is yours, Ms. McLeod.
Is it yours, Ms. McLeod?
I haven't spoken to him. I will check.
And there was another one that conflict too that may need your help. There was
Miss Gibson, Your Honor, but I
Right.
could not represent
No,
her.
you can't use her. There was another one beyond Gibson, I thought.
I am happy to speak to anyone who's a conflict.
I had conflict for 37-2 Solano. Is that correct?
Let me take a look. 37.
Position 32 as well.
There was a lot of conflict today. You are well needed.
I'm available. I'm here. I can speak with
This is number 37, Ms. Solano. Did you need to talk to her, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, I would have to speak with her, yes.
All right, we'll
Do you
give you a
want me
call.
to,
And I do have a question for you, Judge.
Uh-huh.
This is pertaining to position number 36, Simmons, and her co-defendant is position number 18, Ms. Gibson. Will she be able to be seen today if we can find a conflict attorney? And then also that's for the question for Mr. Jordan, if we can get a conflict attorney for Ms. Gibson.
It sounds like those have already.
sent you something.
They've already been transferred, though, is what my understanding is. So they're going to felony court.
do you want me to
So they're not
reset
gonna
them
be
1 week,
allowed.
Judge?
Yeah, let's reset them 1 week to make sure that the transfer order actually goes through. We're gonna reset SAP, I can't never do math, the 19th.
19.
So therefore, Judge, we're not gonna be able to get a conflict attorney to represent Ms. Gibson. Would that
I mean,
be
you could,
suitable,
but
or?
she can come forward and I can just tell her we're resetting her 1 week. Are we frozen at ACDC? Can you hear me? Francois, can you hear me?
Yeah, the internet
It
connection is.
froze for a moment. We can try to get a conflict attorney who can come forward and make this, bond argument, but it sounds as if it's gonna be transferred and we're gonna reset it 1 week anyway. So,
Your Honor,
Okay.
Your Honor, I just have, I've been here for 2 weeks and I haven't spoke to anybody, no public defender, no nothing. I
okay,
haven't
is
had
there
enough-
another conflict attorney what about, is there somebody else we can call, Mr. Jordan?
I can check around there to see.
Okay, we'll see if we can find her another conflict attorney. We will do that, all right?
No, besides the 23rd for the other felony charge that I'm being accused of, there, you said 1 week for this.
Hold 1 second. We're gonna see if we can find somebody to speak to you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Francois, for letting us know.
Your Honor, she did have counsel at SEA.
I don't think she didn't. I don't think
She
so.
didn't?
Nope, I remember it. There was
Okay.
not a conflict. Remember the public defender, there was 3 of them.
That's right,
So
okay.
she did not have somebody. I didn't realize.
I think
it.
I'm confusing that with position 36.
Mm-mm. Ms. McLeod was there. It was fun. That was a fun day. All right. Does Miss Watson Cafe still do it, Mr. Jordan?
Where's Ms.
Has she quit on us?
All the attorneys have been busy lately, Judge.
I know.
Check with her too.
Will you see if maybe she'll do it? Tell her I asked specifically if she would consider helping us. All right, is there any other position we can take?
Ms. Kim is actually tied up talking to one of her clients on the phone, Judge.
Okay.
And Your Honor, announcement for position 1, that has been accepted as a transfer as well.
All right, I already had do not bring.
And the state is requesting a reset for position 21.
I had do not bring for that one either.
Now, if Ms. Kim is ready, we can go to,
I think she's busy. They said Miss Kim is still on the phone.
no, she's not on the phone anymore over here.
Okay. Okay. We're ready.
Well, in the van, but I knew about the probation.
Uh-oh. Where are we going?
The position,
Position what? I'm sorry.
hold on, y'all, it's pretty loud in here.
That's
Position
okay.
31.
Okay. And what I have is an announcement, Ms. Kim, for Travis Ransom is a not guilty plea.
She's on mute.
She's on
You're
Mr.
muted.
Travis Ransom, he wants to argue for not guilty, but he wants to argue for signature on bond because of his medical reasons. So I requested for a breakout room to talk about that.
Okay, So you're gonna break out, everybody can still hear you at ACDC behind you. Can we break out on your phone or something, Ms. Kim?
Or can,
I don't know.
you
Yes.
can call courtroom, judge, so we can keep going.
Well, she's asking for a breakout with me, right? Right, Ms.
Okay.
Kim? Okay, so I'm just saying you're not in a secure location, so I'll do,
At the end of the calendar.
okay, so we can't do 31 yet.
No,
Okay,
We cannot do 30.
can we do another position then?
And position number 38, the one that we were holding on, that one is ready to go. I don't know.
Okay, that's right. I did see your message. I'm sorry, Mr. Rose. A lot of other messages came in afterwards. Can we go back to Ms. Tyler? Ms. Kim, the information we have is that the case, the PI case, there is no additional case, and that case would have been dismissed. So the only case that Ms. Tyler appears to have is the one pending on the calendar today.
okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna move forward. 24 CR 006285E. In this case, Ms. Tyler, you're charged with driving while license suspended, DUI, reckless driving, and improper or erratic lane change. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is a negotiated plea?
Your Honor, instead of ADET, can she have a free AA meetings once a week? ADET is almost like $200 to $400, so it's very expensive.
All right, let me hear her history. Ms. Tyson, can I have the history for Ms. Tyler?
One moment, Your Honor.
And
Position
while
48.
38, And if there are other conflict people that need to give Ms. McLeod a call, this would be a great time. I think there was Reed, there was a couple other people on the calendar.
And I have some good news for y'all. Deputy Falk is logging in. It'll probably run a lot smoother.
You don't want to, no, we don't, you can't leave us, Mr. Rhodes. You're not allowed to depart. So even if she comes, you still have to sit with us for the balance of this.
Judge, I'm going to beg the court to be dismissed.
Okay. Too funny. Are you leaving us? All right, Mr. Rhodes, take care. Are you want to finish this one since we've already started?
So I'll finish this one since we started.
All right, let's at least finish this one. Then we'll let Mr. Rhodes go on to greener pastures. All right. The state's recommendation is Mr. Oh, we were still checking the history though. Ms. Tyson, please proceed.
15 arrest cycles beginning in 2019. Last arrest was in Atlanta for misdemeanor theft by shoplifting on June 8th of 2024. She took a NOLO plea on that case, June 12th of 2024. She was sentenced to 10 days confinement, 3 months probation on that case. Let's see. I'm not sure if there's another pending theft by shoplifting. That arrest date was May 18th of 2024. No dispositions listed on the GCIC for that case. And it looks like she also has a felony theft by shoplifting arrest from January 26th of 2023 with no disposition listed on the GCIC. The failure to appear from 2022. I'm sorry, two from 2022. One from 2021. A felony conviction for felony theft by shoplifting out of Fulton County from November of 2022. Misdemeanor conviction by shoplifting from November of 2022 out of Fulton County. There is another misdemeanor conviction for willful obstruction, fleeing or attempting to elude willful obstruction and fleeing or attempting to elude. That is out of DeKalb County. That's from December 16th of 2022. Another misdemeanor conviction out of Fulton County for disorderly conduct. That's from May of 2019. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll let Mr. Rhodes weigh in, but I'm inclined to require the ADT. Mr. Rhodes, your thoughts on that portion?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe that as it relates to the DUI conditions, those are the statutory conditions. And so I would ask that the court require the ADT.
That was my thought as well. Ms. Kim, if she takes the plea, we are going to require the ADET as well as the other DUI statutory requirements. Does she wish to take the plea?
Yes, she wants to plead guilty.
All right, please raise your right hand, Ms. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Rhodes, will you please put the state's recommendation onto the record?
Your Honor, very briefly, as it relates to 24 CR 0062885E, it is the transfer of 24 PI 0055851. They are the same cases. As it relates to count 1, which is the driving while license suspended, the state recommends 12 months probation with a $500 fine. We ask that count 1 runs concurrent with count 2, which is the DUI charge. But in count 2, the state is recommending 12 months to serve 64 days, but she will receive credit for the time she has served, which is 32 days since 8/11/2024, and then the balance on probation. On that count, we're asking for a $300 fine, so for a global fine of $800. And then, of course, the statutory requirements are for a DUI risk reduction course, a victim impact panel, an alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, 40 hours of community service. As it relates to count 3, Your Honor, reckless driving, the state is recommending 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1. And count 4, the improper erratic lane change, the state is recommending time served. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, was that your understanding, Ms. Kim, and do you stipulate to the 3 elements?
Yes, Your Honor, we do stipulate.
All right, please raise your right hand, Ms. Tyler. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand taking a plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am, I understand, Judge.
And you understand that pleading guilty may affect aspects of your life, such as employment, probation, immigration, open cases, or things that your attorney and I may not be able to anticipate. You understand that?
I understand.
And you fully understand all the requirements that's just outlined by the state and explained to you by your attorney?
Yes, pretty much. Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. As to the charges previously listed, Ms. Tyler, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Mr. Rose or Ms. Kim?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rose, take care. Have a great afternoon. You can be free to go.
Good.
Your Honor, if we go back to position 42 and 43, Mr. Willis.
Okay, so Ms. Kim, what are we doing with 42 and 43?
Your Honor, I'm gonna make the announcement.
Okay.
On Mr. Will, we're gonna plead him not guilty. He posted bond on misdemeanor charge. The only thing that's keeping him is the felony revocation, which he's going to court tomorrow. So we're gonna, as far as the misdemeanor, we're pleading him not guilty, Judge.
All right, and so we're resetting to a further notice to a division. All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Willis. Take care. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, who do we have next?
We can go to ACDC.
Is there any position we?
Judge Williams,
Yes,
was that position 42 that you just said, Lisa?
yes. Mr. Willis, so he's 42 and 43, and he has the FTA too.
Yeah. I don't see on the bond screen that he posted bond, so he is holding on that case.
Okay, Mr. Haddad, did you hear that? In addition to the felony hold, the misdemeanor case does not show he has a bond posted.
Yeah, I understand. The fact this family posted bond yesterday, it's probably not in the system yet. It was.
Okay, well, or they plan, to post it, okay.
Worst case scenario, if there's a glitch, Judge, I can always put them back on or put them in front of the judge, but anyway, that's where we're at.
We understand. Thank you.
I'll check back on it tomorrow to make sure.
Mr. Jordan said he'll be kind enough to check to make sure it's posted by tomorrow. And if he is, well, did he come back to SAP? No, I guess not. I guess it will still be division. So, all right. All right, who do we have next?
This is number 15, Davis.
All right, good morning. Your case is 24 CR 002809G. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
I have that this is a not guilty. Is that correct, Ms. Kim?
Yes, correct, Your Honor. There's another case that he is still right now that is holding him in the jail.
Okay, so we'll reset. You're gonna file a waiver.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything else that you wish to be held on or heard on today?
Nothing further from defense. Your
All
Honor.
right. Best of luck to you. That concludes your case for this time.
Your Honor,
Does
can we
this
go,
case was that?
Mr. Hill,
I'm sorry, say again, Mr. Jordan.
Which case was that? You
That
just
was
did?
15, Mr. Davis. He's joined not guilty waiver arraignment to division.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, what was the question at courtroom? Was it courtroom 2 asking?
no, if we can go to 23 and 24. Position 23 and 24.
Okay, I have that this is a non-negotiated plea. Is that correct?
Yes,
Ms.
Paul Bartel is coming.
Yes, is it non-negotiated plea?
That's correct, Your Honor. Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Bartel. Okay, so this is 24 CR 005137A. Mr. Hill, and you have the same charge for both cases, 24 CR 005959A. Do you understand your rights this morning?
I'm sorry.
Let's say louder.
Yes. Yeah,
You understand your rights?
Okay.
Okay. As it's non-negotiated, can I have the history, Ms. Tyson?
Yeah, sure. No. Ten arrest cycles beginning in 1997. His last arrest was in Fulton County, December 18th of 2023. That was for a violation of probation. Does have an FTA from 2023. The misdemeanor conviction out of DeKalb County for criminal trespass and willful obstruction. That's from October of 2023. He received 12 months probation on that case. He has an arrest from August 6th of 2023 for simple assault, family violence, and willful obstruction. There's no disposition listed on the GCIC for that case. And he also has an arrest from March 22nd of 2023 out of Atlanta for aggravated criminal trespass, simple and 2 counts of simple assault. There's no disposition listed on the GCIC. He has a case was dismissed. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Falk, good morning. Good to see you. Please proceed.
Good morning, Your Honor. And that aggravated assault, criminal trespass, simple assault is still open under 23 CP 217171. So that is still an open case, and the defendant on that case received a $25,000 surety bond back in March of 2023 on that case. So in both of these cases, Your Honor, what we essentially have is a persistent issue where the defendant keeps going onto the property of Mark and Kennedy Lewis at Black Forest Trail Southwest. The defendant is a neighbor, but has on 2 different occasions been asked to not come onto the property. He keeps crossing into their yard with no shirt or no shoes numerous times. Mr. and Mrs. Lewis have been having persistent issues with this. They have been constantly calling the police. They have him recorded on Ring doorbell. They sent us a recording of the Ring doorbell footage of the defendant continuing to trespass. And the first time this incident happened, where he was arrested on July 2nd, 2024, he was ordered to stay away from the residence belonging to Mark and Kennedy Lewis and to have no further contact with them. Sure enough, about a month later, he goes back onto the property and is again back onto their property without their permission. And it's basically, a pattern of harassment for Mr. Lewis. And so I do have Mr. Lewis here. He is here and is present, would like to speak. He stated that this has just been an ongoing issue. And when he does agree with the plea offer, but ultimately argued, how is this just going to keep him, the defendant, away from his residence? So the state's recommendation on these cases are 12 months or 48 days, credit for time served 24 days. That's going to be from July 25th to July 27th, 2024, and then August 23rd to August 24th, 2024. Balance probated, stay away from 2586 Black Forest Trail Southwest in Atlanta. No further contact with Mark and Kennedy Lewis, and 40 hours of community service. On the second case, the criminal trespass, again, we are asking for 12 months to run concurrent with the previous case. Again, a stay away from that address and no further contact with Mark and Kennedy Lewis. My understanding is that the issue is the no further contact provision. However, again, as I've stated, this is an ongoing persistent problem, and I would like to sound for Mr. Lewis so that he can kind of just briefly tell you the issues that he's been having and why he agrees with a no further contact.
Okay. Before I go to Mr. Lewis, Mr. Bartels, I'd like to hear your take on the point of contention here.
Well, Your Honor, Ms. Falk has stated the state's offer is indicated he has been in, he served a total of 24 days on the July case. It looks like there are 2 periods of incarceration, and then he's been incarcerated for 21 days for the August 22nd arrest. He is wanting to ask the court to consider time served. I would submit that given the amount of time he's been in jail, that would be a just resolution. If the court is inclined to put him on probation, we understand that part of the state's request is 40 hours of community service. If the court is inclined to put him on probation, we would ask the court to consider a no further violent contact. I understand from the allegations there hasn't been any violent contact. Mr. Hill has indicated to me that he was very tired on both occasions and can use the property as a shortcut. However, I've told him very adamantly several times that whatever happens with this case, he just can't go on to his neighbor's property anymore. And he's indicated that he understands that. So we're submitting it as a non-negotiated plea. He does indicate to me that he worked at UPS for many years. He recently was laid off from that job, but he is trying to get that back. He indicates that he is going to try to find another job when he's released, and we would just ask the court to take all of that into consideration.
If I accept the state's offer, which I'm inclined to do, Mr. Bartels, does he still want to take the plea today?
Would that include the no further contact and stay away, Your Honor?
It would. And the community service.
You're okay with that? Yes, Your Honor. He indicated that he would accept that, and I've linked him up with Ms. Amin Williams, our social worker, regarding the housing issue. So we can go ahead with that.
Okay. Please raise your right hand, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis, do you swear in a firm testimony you give today? Not you, Mr. Hill. 1 second. Mr. Lewis, do you swear in a firm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. What would you like to tell me?
Well, first of all, it hasn't been the couple of times that he was tired. It's probably 2 to 7 times every day that he trespasses through our yard. This has been going on for a very, very long time, and it's just come to a head at this point. We continuously called the police. So, well, let me back up. First of all, I would like the court to imagine him or anybody else walking through your backyard every day, 5 days a week. You sit in your sunroom and he's 10 feet away walking through. It's 3 a.m. and your lights, your security lights flicker on, and you look out and there's a figure back there, and this occurs every day. Kennedy is my daughter. So my family does not feel comfortable in going into our backyard to get the trash or to even just sit on our back porch. And I asked the court to imagine if that was themselves. I don't agree with the plea because, first of all, when we had the bond hearing, he was told this exact same thing that he was told today, to stay away. The very next day, the trespassing continued every day until we called the police again, in which he was arrested. And that's for this time. So I don't trust that you telling him to stay away and not trespass is going to occur, because it hasn't. And he's been doing this consistently for a very long time. And since he's been gone, my family can go in the backyard and enjoy the backyard and not feel like somebody's going to walk through there. That's what I have to say.
All right, I do appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. All right. All right, we're going to accept the state's recommendation in its entirety, including no further contact and the stay away. Mr. Hill, please raise your right hand.
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
When?
I need you to say it loudly. Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No,
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
I am.
And you understand by taking a guilty plea, you give up your right to trial?
I know. Yes.
And you understand you're giving up the right to have the state prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Same. I understand.
All right. And you understand that you absolutely cannot walk through these people's yard anymore. Do you fully understand that, Mr. Hill?
Yes.
And you're to have no contact with them whatsoever. You understand that?
Yes.
And you further understand that you also have to complete 40 hours of community service? You do? Was that a yes?
Yes.
All right. And you understand that taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, immigration, probation, or other aspects of your life your attorney or I may not be able to anticipate. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
All
Yes.
right. As to the charges of criminal trespass in both cases, how do you plead, Mr. Hill?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Do not go back to that yard. Don't do that under any circumstances. You'll be right back sitting where you are now. All right. Best
Your
of
Honor.
luck to all parties.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you. We would just ask the court, due to his financial situation, to consider waiving the first 2 months of probation fees and to allow him to go non-reporting once he has completed the community service with the other.
I'll waive 1 month. All right. And he can go non-reporting when he finishes.
And Your Honor, the state would object to non-reporting probation, especially with his history and this constant occurrence against Mr. Lewis.
All right. Understood, but I'll still allow it to go non-reporting.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Hill.
Question?
I think the best question to ask is of a victim witness advocate, but what is your question? I may not be able to answer it for you.
Okay, yeah, because can I get a document stating the facts? So when he returns, I'll be able to show it to the police.
We will be able to provide you with a sentence. Mr. Lewis, if you can provide Ms. Maldonado, she is here in the chat. If you can text her directly and give her your email address, I will email you a copy of the sentence sheet.
Okay, I have her. I have her email. I will email her.
Thank you.
We do need to keep going. Best of luck to you, Mr. Lewis. All right. Take care. All right. Who do we have at jail court iPhone?
We have positions number 27 and 28, Mr. Lewis.
I have do not bring that we're not taking that case today. Is that still the announcement? That this was a waiver of arraignment, Ms. Kim or Mr. Haddad? We're not supposed to take this case today.
That is correct, Judge. It's, we're waiving arraignment, pleading him not guilty.
All right, so that we're not, sir, your attorneys have some more work to do on this case. They are entering a waiver and setting your case for trial, which means it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to trial. Attorneys are going to do some additional development, and you will be, someone will be shortly, but we will not be addressing your case today. All right? Best of luck to you, sir.
Hey, thanks. Check his email so they don't bring him
Next, next, judge, we have number 37, Kelowna.
Okay. Did Ms. Kim, I'm sorry, did Ms. McLeod have an opportunity to speak to Ms. Solano? Because that's a conflict.
Oh, actually, Solano was not a conflict. It
sure?
was, yes, it was 36 Siemens.
Okay, I thought 37 was a
I
conflict.
have already spoken with Miss Solano. I have also spoken with Miss Simmons. I have spoken with Mr. Reed. He has a private attorney. It's Carrington Matthews is his attorney.
Okay, so Ms. McLeod, are you done today and wish to leave us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Take care.
I actually have I have Miss Sands. She is on the
11 o'clock
calendar, but other than that, I do not have anyone else that I'm aware of.
All right, if you want to drop off and we see you at 11, that's fine as well.
Yes, Your Honor, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I wish.
Was there an
All right.
announcement for position number 2? Because that, I believe, is a conflict case.
Oh, Ms. McLeod, don't go yet. Hold on. Did you speak to position 2, Ms. McLeod?
What was the person's name?
Benson.
I have not spoken with Mr. Benson. I can speak to him now.
Is he there at courtroom 2 or is he on one of the floors?
Judge, he is not here in the courtroom. Let me see if I know where he's at.
Okay.
Okay. Please hold 1 second, Ms. McLeod. All right, what is the announcement on Solano, Ms. Kim?
Not guilty, Your Honor. Waiver of arraignment.
Okay. So, Ms. Solano, your attorney has some additional work to do. We're going to set your case for a trial calendar. That isn't necessary.
Your Honor, when I spoke to her, she wanted to accept the state's plea offer.
Okay, which one is it? Are we taking the plea, Ms. Kim, or are we going to trial?
Oh, we're going to trial. There's another felony case that is holding her. So, yes.
Okay. So we will reset further notice. Ms. Kim will do waiver of arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Solano. Best of luck to you. Your case is being reset at this time.
Thank you.
All right. Who do we have next?
We have position number 41, Mr. Williams.
41. Okay. This is a bond hearing, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor. He wants to reduce his bond to a signature on bond.
Okay, Mr. Williams, your case is 24 CR 6145B. In this case, you're charged with simple battery family violence. You understand your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Can I have the history, Ms. Tyson?
Hey, come on, you wanna go back? Yep.
Sure. We have 15 arrest cycles beginning in 2000. Last arrest was July 26th of 2023 in Atlanta for battery, family violence, first offense, and cruelty to children in the third degree. There's no disposition listed on the GCIC for that case. He does have a misdemeanor conviction out of Atlanta for driving without a valid license. That's from February of 2020. Have another misdemeanor conviction out of Fulton County for criminal trespass and marijuana possession less than 1 ounce from outside the 10-year period. Actually, it's from January of 2012. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. Just to let the court know, that family violence battery is under 23 CR 004628B. The defendant did enter a plea of guilty, received 12 months, served 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. Date of that conviction was January 22nd of 2024. So the defendant is still on probation. before Judge Patsy Porter. And the defendant was ordered to stay away from Jemiah Stribling, Santorius Stribling, and Honesty Smith, as well as to complete 24 weeks of domestic violence counseling. In this, so I just kind of wanted to give Your Honor a background. I will say that in this case, Your Honor ordered a $1,500 surety bond on August 30th of 2024 with a no further contact with Teresa Williams and stay away from 1004 Fern Avenue in Atlanta. What led to this incident, Your Honor, was this happened August 29th of 2024. Officers were dispatched to that address and spoke with Miss Teresa Williams, who stated she had been battered by her nephew, the defendant, on that date. The Miss Williams did have visible injuries that could be observed by the officers. Essentially, the defendant pushed his aunt inside of the residence, which caused her to lose her balance and fall to the ground, injuring both of her knees. I just want to note that the victim in this case is 68 years old, and the defendant is 41 years of age. And so I just want to put that on the record that this victim is over 65 years of age. At this time, we would like to sound for Miss Teresa Williams, and that's all for the state. We do ask that the bond remain as set, especially in light of the fact that the defendant is currently on probation for family violence battery.
All right, is Ms. Williams on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? Okay, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Williams, says that he was not, he denies the allegation, Your Honor. Indeed, his auntie was the one who was arrested 1 year ago, and she was ordered to stay away from that 1004 Penn Avenue, where his brother is the owner legally, and he's the one who pays for the rent and everything, completely financially. He's the one who has been paying for all the expenses for that house. He wants to say that he feels like auntie wanted to kick him out in a sense because she does not want to pay for anything for the house. And he has no drug alcohol issues, Your Honor. He does have 3 children that he really wants to get back. One of them is 8 months old. So we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial level 3. And he could have gotten time served, Your Honor. He has been there for 28 days, sentence, credit for time served, 14 days. He can be just released. However, he really wants, he's strong about the fact that he's not guilty for this charge.
All right, bond is gonna.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I just want to make one point. I am looking at Miss Williams' case. That case was null pros. She was never convicted of family violence battery.
I'm not changing. The bond is gonna remain as set. Okay, so we don't have to go any further. Best of luck to you, Mr. Williams. Your attorneys will continue to do some development on this matter. All right, who do we have next?
I didn't get the signature. We have position number 10. Mr. Shepherd.
All right, wait, what position is this?
I'm sorry, position number 10, Mr. Shepherd.
Position 10, we did 10, didn't we do 10? Do I have a different, what's the name?
Shepherd.
Oh, Shepherd.
10 on the SAP calendar is Cox.
Right, well, it should be 35.
Oh, 35, I'm sorry.
I have it, this is a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, Mr. Shepherd, your case is 24 CR 006147E. You're charged with 2 counts of theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm just gonna tell you, you have a right to an attorney and you have a right to remain silent, and I'm conducting this hearing over the internet today. Ms. Falk, will you please just put the state's recommendation onto the record?
Yes, Your Honor. That count 1, 12 months served, 28 days, credit for time served, 14 days from August 30th, 2024 until today, balance probated, a $500 fine, anti-theft course, stay away from Hobby Lobby at 6380 North Point Parkway. Count 2, 12 months concurrent with count 1, stay away from Hobby Lobby at the same address. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Can you so stipulate, and was that your understanding, Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, actually, the printout, it says $0. It is missing 5. So I just thought this was $0 fine, and I didn't convey that to my client.
Your Honor, it is a statutory fine, so I do apologize for the typo, but I have never entered 00 fine, so, but that is statutory. It's not.
What was the amount of the fine?
$500 is the fine for a theft by shoplifting, Your Honor.
Okay, does your client wish to still take the plea if he owes a $500 fine?
Are you?
Okay, cool. I was asking, so what is the offer?
Okay, he needs to speak to Ms. Kim. Can we put him very quickly and break out ACDC and jail court iPhone very quickly?
Is it 12? It's 12 months?
No, hold on. Your attorney's gonna talk to you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, I guess it's nobody at courtroom 2.
Your Honor, we have Mr. Ransom in here, but you guys said that he was waiting.
Judge, I think on Mr. Ransom, position number.
That's the one Ms. Kim requested a breakout on him.
Yeah, that's it.
But okay, well. That's a breakout, not guilty. It was still a not guilty plea though, correct?
I believe it's a bond hearing, from what I gather, but I'm not 100% sure, Judge.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Kim, does your client wish to take the plea? You're muted.
Sorry
Yes,
about
Your
that.
Honor. No problem. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, you wish to take the plea, correct?
Yes.
Is he back? Can we unmute? All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you understand that you taking a guilty plea may affect employment, probation, immigration, things of that nature?
Yes.
And you understand the requirements that you have to stay away from that Hobby Lobby and pay that $500 fine?
Yes.
All right, as to the charges of theft by shoplifting, 2 counts, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea at this time. Is there anything additional, Ms. Kim, Ms. Falk?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you. That concludes your case. All right, Ms. Kim, who do we have with you at ACD? Or who, is there another person in jail court iPhone?
Judge, we have positions number 39 and 40, Ms. Williams.
Okay. And the announcement is that this is a bond hearing, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Tyson, can I have the history, please?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Who is this again?
39 and 40, Ms. Ayana Williams.
One moment. Pulled up the wrong Williams.
It's A.
Your Honor, maybe I'm missing something. The defendant isn't in jail for these charges.
Okay, has she made bond? Hold on one second. Mr. Jordan, do you see that?
This is Ayana Williams.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's still showing as in jail. Let me
Right.
check
And what I'm asking, is she in jail on these charges?
Or has she made bond?
No, it looks like she has a felony hold. It's a felony
Okay.
case with the incident date of 8/25/24.
Okay, so Ms. Kim, it looks like these cases are not holding her in the Fulton County Jail. It's a felony bond hold.
Correct.
So you still wish to, so what are we doing, Ms. Kim? Are we?
Actually, we just want a waiver of appearance and plead not guilty.
Okay, and that's what we'll do. Your case will be reset, ma'am, and set for trial so your attorney can do some additional work and development, all right? All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Williams. Thank you, Ms. Tyson. And Ms. Falk. All right, so is there another position we can go to?
You said big shots, so I guess that's.
Ms. ACDC is muted. Is there another position we can take?
Yes, Judge, I have number 32, Mr. Reed Lavar. He was actually, he spoke to Ms. McLeod, but he does have a private attorney, he stated. So
Okay.
his attorney said that he's not gonna, most likely not gonna be able to get on the Zoom because he's on a trial.
Okay, so we're gonna reset Mr. LeVar Reed 1 week. And I don't think it wasn't a time served offer that I see, so I don't think any prejudice will result. Mr. Reed, we're gonna reset your case 1 week for your attorney to appear, okay?
Yes, but he on the YSL trial, so I don't know if I don't know whenever he gonna be free.
Okay, well, hopefully he can make it.
Last week, and they reset it again to this week.
Okay, so you keep getting reset. Okay,
Can I get that attorney's name? I can send him the email.
Mr. Jordan, what's the name of your attorney?
Garrison Matthew, I just got off the phone with him.
His name is what?
Garrison Matthew.
Okay, well, we'll send him a note.
Matthew?
Carrington Matthew is what he said, I think.
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
Correct.
Okay, so we'll reset you 1 week and Mr. Jordan will send him some correspondence in the hope that he will actually appear or waive his appearance and make your case move forward. Okay, Mr. Reed?
Yes,
All right, take care. Have a good day.
you too.
Judge,
All
do
right.
any updates for Ms. Gibson, number 18, for a conflict attorney?
I don't think we're gonna have one today. Any luck with the conflict?
No, Judge. The only person called me back was Miss Watson's cafe office, and she's in trial, so I told her I would send her the information.
Okay, let's
If you
reset
can
her
reach out
1
to her.
week. We're
And-
gonna try. We'll reset her 1 week.
Your Honor, just to let everyone know, on positions 18 and 36, the
We
DA.
know they've been accepted, but just in the event to double check, we reset it 1 week.
Totally understand.
Also, Judge, for this is going to be on the competency for, I have a question for Bartel. Wanted to know if we needed Ms. Hall.
You need Ms. Hall? No, we don't.
No, we don't.
You do not? Okay.
Yeah, we don't need her.
Okay, thank you.
Is Ms. Kim by herself yet at ACDC, so we can do that breakout?
We have like 3 inmates in here.
Okay. All right, can we do one of them so we can clear out, hopefully?
Oh, they need to one up there. They wanted them here. Let's move. Put the one up there. I'm confused. No.
Okay, so no one else can be taken at ACDC?
Judge, we're completed here at ACDC. The only
Can they be taken so we can do the breakout? So Ms. Kim can be by herself for a moment?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we'll do it quickly. Can I go into a breakout with ACDC?
I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Judge.
Uh-huh.
Or Ms. Come here. Ms. Gibson, number 18, she did want to speak with you, Judge.
I don't really want her to say too much to me in the presence of without counsel, but what do you want to tell me, ma'am? We're resetting your case in the hopes that we'll find you a conflict attorney, and we are working on it, okay? What do you want to tell me? And don't say too much. The state is listening to you.
I wanted to say I've been in here for 2 weeks. I haven't spoke to anybody. These are just allegations, and I've never met my co-defendants before besides online or the young lady in this case. So I feel like I'm blindsided and I'm confused I'm just sitting in here with nothing. My family is like.
You do have a bond, and we're working on getting you a conflict attorney, okay? I do understand the situation. All right?
Okay.
All right, we're gonna continue to work on it. It's on my list, okay? And we'll reset 1 week in the event that it's not transferred to make sure you don't get lost in the system, okay? Take care, Ms. Gibson. I really just don't want you might say something by mistake, and I don't want that to happen, okay?
I understand.
All right.
All right, thank you, Judge. Completed here at ACDC.
Okay, now can I go into that breakout?
Who all needs to go into the breakout with you, Judge?
Ms. Falk, I'm sure Ms. Desiano, if she wants to come, Ms. Kim, and that will be it. So we can do position 31.
Do you need anybody? Paul?
Let's bring Mr. Ransom forward. Am I still muted? I'm not. Mr. Ransom, I spoke to your attorney. You have a hold outside of this particular case. So your bond will remain as set, okay? There are some additional things that your attorney will do in the meantime, all right? But for right now, I did speak to your attorney. I'm aware of this, but this is not the only case holding you in the Fulton County Jail. All right? Is there anything additional, Ms. Kim or Ms. Falk?
Your Honor, I would like to speak with Ms. Kim if she has a moment, just to see if we might be able to resolve this case today.
That works, okay. So Ms. Kim, if you can speak with Ms. Falk. Who's at medical?
This is position number 34, Jonathan Rodriguez.
Okay, and the announcement I have is that this one was a not guilty. Ms. Kim, is that correct? You're muted, Ms. Kim.
Actually, announcement is guilty, negotiated plea.
Okay. All right. We'll hold on 31. Let's go back. Let's do 34. Mr. Rodriguez, your case is 24 CR 006094F. In this case, you're charged with battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes, I do.
All right, you have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Ms. Falk, I know you're doing other things, but can you put the recommendation onto the record?
Yes, Your Honor. State's recommendation on the family violence battery is 12 months served, 32 days, credit for 16 days from August 28th, 2024 until today, balance probated. Stay away from 2732 Hemingway Lane in Roswell. No further violent contact with Carlos Rodriguez Perez. Family Violence Intervention Program, no firearms. Count 2 is 12 months concurrent with count 1. We would like to sound from Carlos Rodriguez Perez and do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all from the state.
Do you so stipulate, Ms. Kim? Was that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we are now sounding for Carlos Rodriguez Perez. Hearing none, Mr. Rodriguez, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today to be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, no,
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
yes,
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
no,
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
no,
And you understand taking a guilty plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury.
yes,
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life.
yes,
And do you fully understand the requirements, including the fact that you are to have no further violent contact with Mr. Rodriguez Perez, stay away from that location, and undergo a class? You understand that?
so I can't touch my dad?
I'm sorry?
Can't
No
touch
further,
my-
you can't have any violent contact. You understand that?
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I get it, I get it,
Okay, just wanted to make sure you do understand all the requirements.
yes.
All right, as for charges of battery, family violence, and criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk, Ms. Kim?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
All right, and I know you've been chatting. Best of luck to you, Mr. Rodriguez. That concludes your case.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there anything we're going to be able to do at position 31 today?
We haven't had an opportunity to speak, Your Honor. So
Okay.
if I can, let me put in the chat my phone number so that Miss PD Kim, do you have your cell phone on you?
I was not allowed to bring it here, ACDC.
Okay.
Can we put those two in a brief breakout?
Just for like 2 minutes.
Thank you. Is there any other cases we can take while that's going on?
Your Honor, I believe position 6 needs a bond hearing if he's available.
I don't think he's available.
Yeah, Judge, I think he's on the floor, so
I
we
think
have
so.
to wait until-
There's nobody else at courtroom 2, correct?
No, Judge, other than Mr. Ransom.
Okay. We're almost done. Do we want to review the calendar yet? No, maybe not yet. We are holding on position 2, 6, 17, 29.
Your Honor, on position number 29, I was informed that he is at Grady.
Okay, so we're no longer holding on 29. Thank
That's
you.
correct,
Mr.
Judge.
Young.
So we'll just need to reset it for,
A week, 2 weeks?
Judge, it's a time served sentence. It's gonna be negotiated, please. So if there's any way we can squeeze him in for Tuesday, that'd be great. But if not, I understand. But that was a
Is
negotiation.
that possible, Mr. Jordan?
What? No, sorry.
You're muted. Position 29, is it possible to go on SAP?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll put him on 9/17/24 for 2 weeks.
Thank you. Okay. Who's at jail court iPhone?
We have position number 17, Mr. Gaston.
Okay.
That's
And
my case, Judge. It's a negotiated plea.
And Your Honor, I'm back. Miss Kim, PD Kim is going to talk to her client.
Okay. And is number 17, Mr. Haddad?
It is, Judge.
Okay, thank you. That actually worked out. All right, Mr. Gaston, your case is 24 CR 006-109D. In this case, you're charged with possession of marijuana, false information, and battery. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. You understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Sessiano, I did read this warrant. Give me the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor, for count 1, the possession of marijuana, the state will move to null pros that count. Count 2, giving false information, time served, 36 days, credit for time served, 18 days. That's from August 26, 2024 to today. And count 3, the battery, 12 months served, 36 days, credit for time served, 18 days. August 26, 2024 to today, balance probated, no further contact with Chiquiva Redden. Stay away from 3056 Cloverhurst Drive in East Point. Complete 8 weeks of anger management, 40 hours of community service, and no firearms. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. And if Your Honor can sound for Ms. Redden, thank you.
Do you so stipulate, Mr. Haddad?
We stipulate, Judge.
All right, I'm sounding for Ms. Redden. Okay, hearing none. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the firm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge? Is that yes? All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time? Did anyone force you to take a plea today? Did anyone promise you anything in exchange? And you understand that you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury? And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt? And you further understand that the requirements that you can't have any contact with Ms. Redden, you're going to take 8 weeks of anger management, have no, you're also going to do 40 hours of service, have no firearms. Do you understand all the requirements as just listed by the state and by your attorney?
Yes, sir.
All right, as the charges are giving false information and battery, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional?
No, Judge, thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Gaston. That concludes your case.
I have a question.
What's your question? I may not be able to answer it. Maybe your attorney can. What's your question quickly?
No, because I thought today was, I had court made to appear.
Your Honor, he's got a felony charge as well, and I believe he's got court today as well, so.
Okay.
That's what's keeping him as well, but I'll follow up with Mr. Gaston to get you in, okay? Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Gaston.
Thank you. Next, we have position number 6, Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark.
Xavier Clark.
Okay. And that's Ms. McLeod. Ms. McLeod, have you?
That's PD Haddad, Your Honor.
Oh, that's Mr. Haddad. Okay, good.
Your Honor, that is my case. We're requesting a bond hearing, and I usually don't ask for bond hearings, but this is kind of an unusual case, so. And Ms. Falk, I sent you an email. I don't know if it's you gonna handle it or Ms. Veciano, but I sent an email, just background information on this case yesterday. Oh,
All
I'm
right.
sorry. Ms. Veciano is on.
All right, so
It's not.
what is the current bond?
The current bond, Your Honor, is.
Your Honor, if I may ask, PD Kim has said she can address the previous case that we were talking about. That will give Ms. Desiano some time. I do see the email for me. Send that to her to look over before we continue on this case.
Okay, we'll look very quickly. All right, let's go back. Position 31, what's the announcement, Ms. Kim?
Negotiated plea, Your Honor.
We're gonna take a plea even though it's the other, okay.
So the state has agreed to reduce the jail time a little bit on this case in order to reach a negotiated plea.
Okay, will you put the recommendation onto the record?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation on this case on count 1, the terroristic threats, is going to be 12 months served, 60 days, credit for time served, 22 days. That's from August 22nd, 2024 until today. Balance probated, stay away from Chevron located at 1722 Campbellton Road, Southwest in Atlanta. No further contact with Dovell Rabin and Brandon Henderson, and 12 weeks anger management. Count 2 and count 3 are 12 months to run concurrent with count 1. Count 4 is 12 months consecutive to count 1. Stay away from the Chevron at 1722 Campbellton Road. No further contact with DeVale, Rabin, and Brandon Henderson. We do ask, would like to sound for Mr. Rabin and Mr. Henderson, and we do ask the defendant stipulate to venue factual identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Was that your understanding, Ms. Kim, and do you so stipulate?
Yes, that's what I understand. Yes, we stipulate.
All right, Mr. Ransom, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the firm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge?
I can't hear.
Okay, can you hear me now? Do you swear in the firm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge?
I hear what she was saying. Somebody was speaking over her. I can't hear her.
Well, okay, you didn't need to hear that part. I guess, what part are you asking? Can you hear me now?
I want to hear everything because I don't want to come back in front of you no more, man. That's right.
Okay, Ms. Falk, will you put the recommendation back onto the record? Can you hear us? Because we're not doing this again. Pay
Yes, ma'am.
attention.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Mr. Ransom, on the terroristic threats, it is 12 months served, 60 days, not 90, 60. Credit for time served, 22 days. That's going to be from August 22nd, 2024. So that would leave you with 8 days remaining. Balance probated. Stay away from the Chevron at 1722 Campbellton Road, Southwest. No further contact with Mr. DeVale Rabin and Mr. Brandon Henderson. 12 weeks of anger management. Count 2 and count 3 is 12 months concurrent to count 1, and count 4 is 12 months consecutive to count 1. Stay away from that same Chevron and no further contact with DeVale, Rabin, and Brandon Henderson. Do you understand the recommendation?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let's now for Mr. Rabin and Mr. Henderson. Are either party here and want to make a brief statement? Okay. Sir, please raise your right hand. Are you prepared to move forward? Are you swearing a firm testimony today be true to your knowledge?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
And you understand taking a guilty plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Do you fully understand all the requirements?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
As to the charges of terroristic threats, 2 counts and 2 counts of simple assault, how do you plead?
Guilty, ma'am.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional from state or defense?
Your Honor, actually, public defender, we recommended against the taking plea deal. We strongly against not to take the deal. However, it's his choice.
Wait a minute, what?
I wanted to put that in a record. I advised not to take the plea. However, he wants to take the plea.
But you stipulated and assisted him, Ms. Kim, correct?
Correct.
And you just want the record to be clear. Okay. Is there anything additional besides that?
Nothing from the state.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Ransom. That concludes your case. All right, are we ready for the bond hearing, Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Your Honor. PD Haddad and I have been messaging throughout the morning.
All right, so
Just
now, all right, so was there any resolution that the two of you were able to?
No,
Or
Your
is
Honor, he's requesting a essentially time served offer, and the state has offered 120 days. I think we're too far apart. And then as far as bond goes, Your Honor, he currently has a $2,000 surety bond, and PD Haddad is requesting a signature bond. And I would like to be heard on that.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Desiano.
Your Honor, as far as his record goes, Mr. Clark has 25 arrest cycles. He has a conviction for simple battery in 2019. He's also on probation for burglary. He's on probation for aggravated stalking from a 16 SC number. He has two counts of simple battery conviction from 2009. He has 2 other battery family violence convictions and cruelty in the third from 2009. He also has 2 or 3 other arrests for simple battery family violence that were ultimately dismissed because it appears the victim failed to appear in court. Your Honor, this is an incident that happened on August 1st, 2024 at the defendant's residence at 1055 DeKalb Avenue. The victim in this case is Wondria Pearson. She's been casually seeing the defendant dating for approximately a month. The defendant had asked to have relations. She denied him, and he started elbowing her in the back as she was laying down, saying, "Get the F out of my bed." Then she began to leave. The defendant asked to go to the store with her. The defendant asked her to go to the store with him. She agreed because she was scared and she didn't have a way home. This defendant lives across the street from the Inman Park MARTA station, where the victim eventually went to and spoke to police. Judge Mincy ordered a $2,000 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Pearson. It's my understanding Ms. Pearson is that I believe the defendant and Ms. Pearson are in drug court together, and that's how they met. So Judge Mincy did say no further contact and stay away except for legal proceedings and court. We believe that their participation in drug court is why there's that stipulation in there. And Your Honor, I believe the defense may argue that the history of this defendant is somewhat old. However, if you look at the DOC, Your Honor, he's been incarcerated in prison from 2012 to 2014, 2017 to 2019, and then also in the early 2000s. So we would argue every time he's released from prison, he is getting arrested on felonies and misdemeanors. And of course, with this simple battery being his will be his 4th offense if he eventually pleads guilty, we would also argue that there's a risk to reoffend here. And we would ask that the bond remain as set. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Haddad. You're muted.
Judge, I normally don't ask for a bonds reduction under these circumstances. I agree, Mr. Clark has a record. The reason I'm asking on this specifically on this case, Judge, 39 years of age, he actually turned himself in on this warrant. But primarily why I'm asking is he's actually a participant in drug court. He came in front of Judge Krause last week in drug court. They're keeping him in drug court, knowing about this case. So that's the primary motivator that I'm trying to get. Now, Judge Mincy, when he was at first appearance, Judge, because the parties, both the alleged victim and himself, are both drug court participants, she put an exception in terms of, no contact unless they're both in drug court at the same time. Now, thankfully, usually they have different schedules in terms of classes and whatnot. So that's not really an issue. And it's not an issue to stay away, Judge, but I just want to explain to the court what prompted Judge Mincy to put that kind of a weird quirk in her bond order. The bottom line, Judge, drug court wants him back. He is required to continue, and he has been doing really well in drug court. And I would also note that one of the conditions on a probation violation in the past is that he, as of October of 2023, he was required to take family violence intervention program as a requirement of that drug court. We're really, I mean, my main focus, Judge, is he denies the charge. I'm trying to get him out so he can continue with drug court. And the stay away is not an issue. He's indigent. His family is poor, cannot post the $2,000 bond, which is why we're asking for the signature bond through pretrial service level 3, Judge, the highest level possible. Judge.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Don't say anything.
Hold on, Mr. Clark.
I want to look at something. Hold on. And you're saying, Mr. Don, he can't participate in drug court if he doesn't have a signature bond?
Judge, I mean, no, he cannot because he's going to be in custody. I mean, the recommendation from the states, and I'm not arguing with the state as far as that, but they're requesting 120 days in custody, which, obviously it's 60 days, but that period, he cannot participate. And drug courts, the public defender in the drug court had reached out to me. I think the goal, what they're trying to do is to get him out so he can continue the counseling and everything that he does to a drug court on a regular basis. And he has, I believe, almost every other day, he normally reports by Zoom through drug court, and he has been apparently doing well, other than, of course, the allegations from August the 1st. But I did want to stress that Mr. Clark did turn himself in on the 28th.
He's subject to random screens too as part of being in drug court, Mr. Haddad.
He normally does. Yes, that's always a requirement.
I'll convert it to a signature bond at level 3, and I'm going to require random screens as well.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Is there anything additional?
No, that's it.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next? Is there someone else?
Appreciate it, ma'am. Next we have position number 2, Mr. Benton.
All right. Did Ms. McLeod have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Benson?
Yes, we called her on the separate phone.
Ms. McLeod, what's your announcement?
Yes, going to be a negotiated plea.
All right, Mr. Benton, your case is 24 CR 005797G. In charge of battery, simple battery, and obstruction. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to understand your rights today. Is that a yes?
Ma'am, what's that?
You understand your rights? You have a right to an attorney and a right to remain silent. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And it's a negotiated plea, Ms. Desiano, if you would just give us the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor, for count 1, the battery, the state's recommending 12 months, served 90 days, credit for time served 26 days. That's from August 18th, 2024 to today. Balance probated. No further contact with Rosalinda Rios. Stay away from 120 Piedmont Avenue, which is a Checkers. 12 weeks of anger management, an MHET, and no firearms. For count 2, the simple battery, the state's recommending 12 months probation concurrent with count 1 and no further contact with Essence Tyson. And count 3, the obstruction, the state's requesting 12 months probation concurrent with count 1, a $300 fine, and 40 hours of community service. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. And if Your Honor can sound for Ms. Tyson and Ms. Rios, we have not been in touch with either victim.
Are Ms. Tyson or Ms. Rios present, wish to make a statement? Hearing none, Ms. McLeod, do you so stipulate that your understanding?
Your Honor.
All right. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I will.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Say again?
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I'm satisfied.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No.
And you understand by taking the plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you further understand the requirements of the sentence, including the evaluations, the anger management course, the stay away, and the no contact with Ms. Tyson or Ms. Rios?
Yes.
As to the charges previously listed, Mr. Benson, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Anything additional, Ms. McLeod, Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask the court to consider waiving some of the initial probation fees for him because he is currently underemployed. Let me put it that way.
I'll
So,
waive 2 months. You can have 2 months of fees, all right? And once he's completed, you can go non-reporting.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. All right. Are we complete? Is that the entire SCA calendar? I'm sorry, SAP, wrong calendar. All right, I think that's all SAP. We'll get ready to do DV reset and competency. I don't have the competency calendar for some reason.
Before you go,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Benton, was that 12 months served, 90 days, credit for time served, 26 days?
That was my understanding, correct, Ms. Sestiano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
All right, are we ready to begin? Let me make sure we did all positions. I have the SAP is complete. Let me double check. I think we're ready to review, Mr. Jordan.
There were some waivers.
Yes, and some do not bring. There was a lot of those, a lot of waivers that I had.
But everyone else will have something more for.
I think so.
Yeah,
Mr. Haddad, Ms. Kim, are we waiting on anyone else to be brought to your knowledge? I believe because everybody else I see do not bring.
Lorna, I have a client on the calendar.
Who is
This
that?
is for the FDA calendar, Miss Sands.
Oh, we haven't
And
done that
she's
yet. No, we're not doing that. Not yet, Ms. McLeod. I was trying to let those who are only here for SAP go, if possible. We're gonna start that one in a moment.
Did you want me to go over the calendar, Jeff?
Yes, can we review?
Okay. Position 1, I have reset 9/17/20 pending DA transfer. Position 2 was a plea. Position 3 was a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury. Position 4 was a plea. Position 5 was a plea. Position 6 was an amended bond, $2,000 sign-on bond, pretrial level 3. Position 7 was a non-negotiated plea. Position 8 was a no pros. Position 9 was a plea. Position 10 was a non-negotiated no-low plea. Position 11 was no pros. Position 12 was a plea. Position 13 made bond. Same with 14. Position 15 was a waiver arraignment, reset jail jury. Position 16 made bond. Position 17 was a plea. Position 18 is reset 9/19 pending DA transfer, and these are conflict attorney appointed. Position 19 is position 19 and 20 made bond. Position 21 was reset 9/19/24 pending DA transfer. Position 22 was a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury. Position 23 was a non-negotiated plea. Position 24 was a non-negotiated plea. Position 25 was reset 9/19 pending DA transfer. Position 26 was a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury. Position 27 and 28 were waiver of arraignments, reset jail jury. Position 29 was reset 9/17/24 SAP. Position 30 was reset jail jury. Position 31 was a plea. Position 32 was reset 9/17/24 SAP. Position 33 was a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury. And position 32 was the one that had the private attorney that I need to contact. Position 34 is a plea. Position 35 was a plea. Position 36 is reset 9/19/24 pending DA transfer. Position 37 was a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury. Position 38 was a non-negotiated plea. Position 39 was a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury, same as position 40. Position 41 was reset jail jury. Position 42 was reset further notice. Was he arraigned on that case, Richard?
I think that case is gonna be a not guilty.
Not guilty? Okay, thank you.
So jail jury, well, actually, technically, he's out on bond in this case, apparently, or he's going.
Right.
Soon to be.
Position 43 was reset further notice with 42.
Any comments, questions, changes, correction? And
Yes, Your Honor. Positions 1 and 25, those orders were already submitted to Miss Grace by myself yesterday. They were signed by the DA's office. I can forward those to Mr. Jordan as well for your signature.
Mr. Jordan, please, will you work on a conflict attorney for position 8? Please add that to you.
And I'm sorry I missed it, but this position number 2 was a plea?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I think Doris is already that.
All right, let's begin the DV reset calendar. That is the case for those individuals who are recently have failed to appear on DV cases and now have a bench warrant for their arrest. The first position is 24 CR 003961E, the case of Wayne Chaney. Is Wayne Chaney online? I don't see anyone with that name. Okay. All right, and the other case on the DV reset case is, am I looking? No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on, this is the wrong calendar. Sorry, I'm looking at next week's DV reset. My apologies to everyone. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I only have one position on here, and I have, let me make sure this is right before I read the wrong thing again. 24 CR 00811E, Desmond Sellers, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. And I see Desmond Sellers on the line. Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sellers failed to appear on his case on.
Judge, before y'all continue with this, Mr. Sellers is represented by Attorney Fagan, but
Attorney, pardon? Nicole Fagan. Got it.
Is that the one who has a conflict?
Yeah, she did file a conflict letter.
Okay, so we have to reset the case. We will reset it, I guess, next week. DV reset as an add-on.
I'm seeing the conflict letter she filed was just for September 3rd. Did I miss a second conflict letter?
She sent an email and copied a bunch of people.
Okay, understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mrs. Sellers, your attorney has a conflict, so this hearing will not go forward today. Please contact your attorney to see what she can do in the meantime, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. All right, I guess
have a blessed one.
You too. Bye-bye. We're going to begin the competency calendar now. Is
We
that
still have one
correct?
more case that was reset from Tuesday. So there was an
Okay.
add-on calendar sent out yesterday.
That I did
Jacob's
not get.
client, Ms. McLeod's client, that was
Yes,
reset.
Ms. Your Honor, and she is on.
Can I have that case number? I don't have that. now.
24 CR 003842H. And it's
Okay.
Jakayla, J A
Okay,
K.
Miss Sands, I see you. Miss Sands, can you turn on your camera, please? We need to identify you. Miss Sands, hello. We need you to turn on your camera and unmute. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge? Just want to make sure she's under oath because people start telling me things. Miss Sands?
I'm sorry, miss, I had to fix my problem. I'm so sorry.
All right, let me first explain your right. She's frozen. She's frozen.
Hello?
Okay, you're frozen. Before you put your hand up, let me do this. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You're here because you failed to appear, and there is currently a bench warrant pending. I'm going to hear from your attorney and from the state regarding the resolution of this matter today. Okay? Ms. Falk, is there a current offer to resolve her case at this point?
Yes, Your Honor, the state did make an offer in this case. I'm not sure what the status of that offer is as far as, I believe the offer was rejected when we brought it before, Ms. McLeod at the last court hearing.
That's correct.
Yeah, just to clarify, Your Honor, the only thing at issue is whether the victim is still residing at the address that Miss Sands was told to stay away from, because that's where she was getting her mail, and that's where the return to sender was. The fact that she failed to appear at court was because of a return to sender, but the address she put as her address to receive notice was an address she was told to stay away from in the bond. Yeah.
Okay.
So we were just trying to figure out if the victim still remained there. I had reached out to Miss Maldonado, our victim advocate, at the last court hearing to ask if she could verify where our victim is living. I'm just waiting for a status update.
Does she have another address, Ms. McLeod?
The address that I have from my client is 455 Fulton Street Southwest, Unit 2314, Atlanta, Georgia 30312. She tells me that her mother resides at this address.
Okay. If that is the address that the victim allegedly is still residing, Ms. McLeod, does she have another address that we could use as a notice address such that we could waive this bench warrant and reset her further notice? So we don't have to keep resetting to figure out if the victim is at, you see what I mean? Go
Your
ahead,
Honor,
Sonia.
that is a different address than the address she originally gave, and the address is the stay away address.
Okay.
It is, Your Honor, and I will be updating her address, and I'll be filing a notice of address change in the system to update her address to this new address.
All right, and we'll set aside this bench warrant since there was some address confusion. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sands, keep your address current with Ms. McLeod and the court. Please do not miss your court date. You need to check in periodically. I'm resetting and setting aside this bench warrant this one time. All right, I don't know if she can hear me. Please tell her, Ms. McLeod.
I will tell her, Your Honor.
All right, this is a second chance. All right, that matter is now closed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, are we ready for competency?
And that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Judge Williams.
Hi, how are you, Boga?
Good, good.
All right.
Next time.
All right, take care. We're gonna go into the breakout to begin competency. And those who don't need to be here for that are excused to go to lunch. All right, we will now be in recess until Tuesday's SAP calendar. I believe we resolved any and all outstanding issues. I want to sound and make sure that there are no victims on this Zoom conference. I don't see any. But otherwise, we are complete and in recess. Everyone can take care, go have some good lunch. See some of you at SEA this afternoon. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.